Let's look at an example SNMP version 2 configuration. Now we have the ability with SNMP version 2 to set up read-only or read-write access. And when we set up read-only, we're going to specify that while we are implementing the community string for the authentication. However, the same thing would be true with read-write. As we're setting up the community string, we can say that this community string is going to be utilized for read-write access. So you really have to be mindful about what you're trying to accomplish with your SNMP setup. In this particular case, we only want to do read-only in this example. So we're going to make sure that we only set up a read-only community string on the device. Now, it's important that you use different community strings for read-only access and read-write access. If you're using the same community strings, then you are jeopardizing the security, although it is small security, of your SNMP deployment with version 2C. So here we can see that we set up the SNMP server community command, and this is going to allow us to specify the community string. So the password, that's really what it is, the password. In this case, it's a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters and numbers, and really it's just a play on the term Cisco admin, if you look at that, Cisco admin. And there's the key for it being read-only. RO for read-only, RW would be for read-write. So what this is stating so far is that if any SNMP server accesses this router to grab information from the management information base, it will have to authenticate with this particular community string right here. If it doesn't authenticate with this particular community string, then it's not going to have read-write access to the management information base. However, that security is not good enough for today's deployments of SNMP version 2. If you haven't done so already, you might want to consider adding an access control list to this command. Why? Well, it gives you the ability to control which network management stations can access the router, can grab the information from the MIB. Right now, who can access the information from the MIB if this is not included? Well, if that's not included, then everybody can. So we want granular control over who can access the objects in the MIB. So by attaching this ACL 98, if you look down here, ACL 98 says permit this specific host, this specific server, the network management server at 10.1.2.3. So it's giving us a greater level of security, not a lot, but enough so that way there we can control which device is allowed to access the MIB and what is the community string that device must be using to gain read-write access. So this command down here is giving us the ability to control the traps that are sent. By default, it's traps that are sent. If you want to send informs, you're going to have to specify informs in the command. But right now we're saying SNMP server host 10.1.2.3, and this is our community string. So when we need to send traps, in this particular case, we are going to send them to 10.1.2.3, and we are going to authenticate with that server at 10.1.2.3 using this particular community string.